Welcome back to Auto Specs, the channel where we explore the rarest, wildest, and most fascinating machines ever built. Today, we're diving into a special kind of story, the cars that never made it to the road. These are the dream machines, the futuristic prototypes, and the one-off experiments that shocked the world but never reached the hands of real drivers. From luxury lounges on wheels to fabric-skinned sports cars and laser-powered fantasies, here are 5 unbelievable cars that existed, yet never touched real-world roads. The journey begins with the Mercedes-Benz F015 Luxury in motion, a car unveiled in 2015 that looked more like a spaceship than an automobile. Instead of a traditional sedan or SUV, Mercedes designed this as a futuristic pod, a seamless lounge that moved on wheels. Its proportions were long, sleek, and smooth, with glowing blue LED strips running across the body to communicate with the outside world. The doors opened in a dramatic suicide style, revealing an interior more like a private jet cabin than a car. Inside were 4 rotating lounge chairs, able to face forward while driving or swivel inward for a conference-style setup. The walls were lined with interactive touchscreens, and passengers could control the entire vehicle with gestures, voice, or even eye movements. Power came from a hydrogen fuel cell paired with high-capacity batteries, offering a theoretical range of nearly 1,100 kilometers. But the true focus wasn't speed or power, it was autonomy. The F015 represented Level 5 self-driving technology, a world where cars drive themselves and humans simply sit back. Yet this car never touched real roads because the technology wasn't ready, governments weren't prepared for full autonomy, and the costs were astronomical. Mercedes built it as a statement, a vision of mobility for 2035 rather than a product for 2015. And in that sense, it succeeded. The ideas behind the F015 influenced today's luxury EVs and autonomous experiments, even though the car itself remains locked away as a concept only. If the Mercedes was about showing us the future of comfort, the BMW GINA light visionary model was about rewriting what a car's body could even be. Revealed in 2008, the GINA was one of the strangest and most radical designs BMW has ever attempted. Instead of being built from traditional metal panels, this car was literally covered in a flexible fabric skin stretched over a movable wireframe. Yes, fabric. The outer shell could shift, expand, and change shape depending on what was needed. The headlights, for example, were hidden beneath the skin and only revealed themselves when the car blinked open its eyelids. The hood could split down the middle to expose the engine, like peeling back a layer of skin. Inside, the interior was minimalist but futuristic, with controls that only appeared when necessary. Power came from a V8 engine, but this wasn't about performance numbers, it was about showing what could happen if cars weren't constrained by steel and aluminum. The reason it never saw roads is obvious. A fabric-skinned car would never survive real-world driving conditions. Safety, weather, durability, and crash standards made it completely impossible. Yet the GINA concept had a legacy, because it showed designers that cars don't have to follow the same rules forever. And it pushed the boundaries of imagination in ways no production car has ever dared. While BMW was rethinking materials, Lamborghini was rethinking the future of supercars with the Terzo Millennio, unveiled in 2017. This was not just a car, it was a science project created in collaboration with MIT. The Terzo Millennio, which translates to third millennium, was Lamborghini's vision of what hypercars might look like decades from now. Its design was wild even by Lamborghini standards, with sharp, aggressive lines, dramatic aerodynamic channels, and a stance that looked closer to a jet fighter than a road car. Instead of using gasoline, this car was all electric. But Lamborghini didn't want heavy batteries. Instead, they imagined body panels that doubled as energy storage. The carbon fiber itself was engineered to act like a supercapacitor, storing and releasing energy without traditional batteries. On top of that, the car's materials were designed to self-heal. If cracks formed in the carbon fiber, the car could repair itself at a molecular level, extending its life and reducing maintenance. Specs like horsepower or top speed were never the focus. It was about innovation and pushing science beyond what anyone thought possible. So why did it never hit the roads? The truth is, it was never meant to. The technologies it proposed, self-healing carbon, energy storing panels, are still decades away from being practical. The Terzo Millennio was Lamborghini saying, "This is the dream, and this is where we're going." It wasn't built to sell, it was built to inspire. Not every car that missed the road was futuristic, though. Some were just too powerful, too luxurious, and too ambitious for their own good. Enter the Cadillac Sixteen, a concept revealed in 2003 that stunned the world with sheer size and extravagance. This was Cadillac at its boldest, building a 19-foot-long sedan with a 3.6-liter V16 engine producing over 1,000 horsepower. Yes, you heard that right, 16 cylinders in one car. The design paid homage to classic American luxury, with sharp lines, a long hood, and a stately presence that rivaled Rolls-Royce and Bentley. The interior was just as over the top, with premium leather, hand-finished wood, and more space than most living rooms. It wasn't just a car, it was a statement of what Cadillac could do if it unleashed its full engineering and design power. But it never made it to production because the market simply wasn't there. A car this big, this thirsty, and this expensive didn't fit the world's shift toward efficiency and practicality. It would have cost millions, guzzled fuel at shocking rates, and appealed to only the tiniest niche of buyers. The 16 remained a one-off concept, a dream of excess that proved Cadillac could compete with anyone, but only in fantasy. Finally, we come to one of the most radical visions ever built, the Chevrolet Chaparral 2X Vision Gran Turismo, revealed in 2014. This wasn't a car made for the streets. It wasn't even made for the track. It was built for a video game, Gran Turismo, and then brought to life as a concept. The Chaparral 2X was unlike anything seen before. Instead of a traditional cockpit, the driver had to lie face down in a prone position, almost like riding a motorcycle or piloting a fighter jet. The design was sleek, futuristic, and otherworldly, with wings and surfaces that looked closer to a spaceship than a car. But the craziest part was its proposed powertrain. Chevrolet imagined it being powered by a laser-powered propulsion system, firing bursts of energy to create thrust. It was science fiction turned into a concept model. Of course, it was never real, never meant to be functional. The technology didn't exist, and even if it did, no regulations on Earth would allow it to hit the road. But as a vision, as a piece of fantasy brought into reality, the Chaparral 2X captured imaginations and showed what happens when designers are allowed to dream without limits. And that's the story of 5 cars that never saw the road. Each one was wild, ambitious, and ahead of its time. The Mercedes F015 showed us the future of luxury autonomy. The BMW GINA proved cars don't have to follow the rules of materials. The Lamborghini Terzo Millennio redefined the future of electric hypercars. The Cadillac Sixteen reminded the world of old-school excess and engineering pride. And the Chevrolet Chaparral 2X blurred the lines between fantasy and reality. None of them were road legal, none of them made it to production, but all of them left behind a legacy of imagination. And that's what makes them unforgettable. This was Auto Specs, and if you enjoyed exploring these unreal machines, make sure to hit subscribe, because we've got more stories of the rarest, fastest, and most insane vehicles ever built. Until next time, keep dreaming of the road ahead.